Hey everyone, welcome to Fight Talk Podcast, everybody. Everyone, get ready for today's podcast. Should go through any second. There we go. Went on right now.
What's up? What's up?
Hey everyone, welcome to Fight Talk Podcast with your boy, the What's Next Kid here. Everyone, today's podcast is sponsored by Long Island Boxing Charities and Montauk Iced Tea, everyone. And introduce yourself to the fans.
What's up, y'all? It's Yoell Cooper, also known as the Butcher from Newark, New Jersey, 18-year-old, 8-time national champion, also ranked number 2 in the country, making his pro debut April 10th. Yoell Cooper.
Well, how does it feel knowing your pro debut is finally here, April 10th?
Man, I'm excited. I can't wait till April 10th. It's gonna be BTA. I'm gonna put on the show. It's gonna be my best performance. I hope everybody come out, and I'm excited. I just can't wait. I'm ecstatic.
Well, what are you expecting? Because now you were fighting in the amateurs, right? And now you got to go professional. So what are the kind of stuff you are expecting in this fight?
Well, smaller gloves. Um, I'm expected to get, more experience with the smaller gloves, fill them out, more rounds, obviously. Well, not really. I'm trying to knock them out quick. But, I'm just experiencing, the no headgear feel, the no shirt feel, the big crowd. This is probably the biggest stage I'm ever going to fight on. Well, not ever going to fight on. The biggest stage I'm going to fight on. Yeah.
How different does training feel? Like leading up into an amateur fight, I'm sure you're always in the gym. But now for a professional fight, has training changed at all? A slight difference maybe?
Yeah. Camp has definitely been more strict and more serious, eating healthier. Because, in the amateurs, I might eat a cheeseburger before my fight or something. But, now that's not happening. We focused, we locked in, we eating good, training early mornings, 5 a.m. before school, late night, 7 p.m. When we getting amazing working, the camp is good sparring and everything. So, yeah, camp's been great. And it's definitely been turned up a notch since the amateurs. Definitely been turned up.
Well, what's the toughest part about training for you?
Well, the toughest part for training about training for me is probably waking up in the morning. I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna be honest, but we gotta do what we gotta do as boxers and fighters. But yeah, if I had a choice, I probably wouldn't wake up at 5 a.m. I'd rather train at 11, the regular times. But waking up at 5 a.m. it shows discipline, and it's just good. It's good. But that's the hardest part for sure. Toughest part.
What do you want fans to see from you the first time you step into the ring as a professional?
I want to show skills, strength, nice sharp skills. It's gonna be amazing. I want to look amazing. It's gonna be the best I've ever looked in my career. I'm gonna stay nice and sharp. I want them to see explosiveness, good power, volume punching, good defense, and just a great sharp performance.
Well, what's the game plan for you in this up and coming fight?
Well, definitely defense. I realized coming from the amateurs to the pros, defense is key. Defense is very important. So, having my hands up, staying on point with defense, um, keeping my jab, steady jab, nice steady jab, combinations, just doing my thing. But defense, definitely on point, 100% definitely on point because I know that's going to be something very important in the pro game. Definitely with those small gloves. Those small gloves make a big difference and the no headgear. So, yeah, defense for sure.
Now, do you know a little bit about your opponent? Any videos out there? Anything at all?
Nah, nothing yet. But I got the mastermind coach himself, the unleasher, my pops, Yoell Cooper. He's an amazing. He's great at breaking guys down and making a game plan for his fighters. To have the best performance they can have. So I'm never been worried about stuff like that, knowing who's in my side or in my corner. So
Well, what motivates you to keep pushing when training gets tough?
what motivates me? Just knowing this is what I've been training for since a kid. You know, the pro debut is something you think about every day as a kid. Like, yo, how am I gonna come out for my professional debut? You know, watching these big fighters, these champions. Like, dang, one day it's gonna be my time. And so I just think about that. Just me as a kid thinking like, yo, my pro debut, how I'm gonna look, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna wear? That all pushes me to keep training harder and keep working hard in the gym. So that's a big, big, big push. Big, big push.
Now, you got a question in the chat. Answer that real quick.
What has been the main thing you've been training in camp? Defense. As I said, defense is important. Lewis Jones, defense is very important, man. So I just been training my defense, keep my defense sharp. So April 10th come my professional debut, my defense should be on point, man. I want you guys to be there and watch, or if you guys can make it, just watch on live stream. My defense got to be on point, and my jab and my defense on point for sure. Those two things got to be on point.
Now, what kind of legacy do you hope to build in boxing?
World champion, undisputed champion in many weight classes. We're gonna debut right now at 154. We don't look to stay there though. We're gonna go down to 47, 40s. I kind of walk around close, like not really. It is not hard for me to make 54 at all. So we're gonna debut at 54, and then we're gonna cut down to 47, and yeah, and then start trying to get belts there and campaign there at 47 and 40. And yeah, undisputed world champion, one of the greats, one of the best in this game, and entertaining. So yeah, that's what we look forward to, legacy wise in the game.
Now, when did you make the decision to turn professional?
Well, I wanted to turn pro when I was 16, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted to turn pro at 16. But my dad, he said, yo, we're going to wait a little minute, which was fine with me. It's my pops, whatever he says, his judgment, I always, I take it very serious and I listen to what he got to say. So he wanted to wait till about 18. Boom. So last year, USA tournaments, all the tournaments, we did all of them. We won 4 nationals. And then, boom, after that, my dad made the decision. He's like, yo, it's going to be this car in Newark, in the city. The Prince of Newark has to be there for his debut. And, boom, that's when we decided we're going to make the change. Because we were going to do one more tournament, which was the Golden Gloves just in the States, just to kind of give Jersey that last feeling before I make my turn. But we end up not doing it. But so we end up just making the turn. So yeah, that's when we made the decision. Pretty much early this year after we won all those nationals to make the turn to professionals.
Now, do you have any words for your opponent?
Hey, April 10th, BTA. I ain't trying to scare him away. I don't want to scare him away, man, because he's already gonna get slaughtered in the ring. But it's gonna be BTA, man. Whoever I'm fighting, April 10th, they're gonna get their tail whooped. And I appreciate y'all though for taking a fight. And yeah, for taking a fight. But it's gonna be BTA. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Now, after this fight, April 10th, are you going to try and stay as busy as possible?
As busy as possible, man. After April, we're gonna try to get on the next card ASAP, man. We want to at least get. I want to get 5 fights by the end of the year at least. That'll be amazing if I get at least 5. I don't want to be sitting on a shelf lollygagging, not doing nothing. I want to stay as active as possible and have probably 10 to 12 fights, 2 years as a pro. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't look forward to just sitting around, not staying active. I want to get at least 5 fights this year. That'll be right on the money.
Now, you've been in fights before. What is it like mentally for you? What goes through your mind?
Well, listen, I feel like I'm the best, so I tell myself I'm the best, and we go out there and we fight like the best. So that's really my mental. Hey, we the best. Nobody could beat us. We done been in the ring with guys better than this. We done been in the ring with world champions, sparring guys like Richard Hitchens, and other world champions. And whoever I'm in the ring with right now, we know is not on that guy's level. So we gonna go out there and we gonna treat them like it. So that's my mental when I get in the fights, and I know like yo, I'm just better. So that's what we gonna show. That's really my mental and how I stay focused.
Is there a Pacific fighter you love to face one day?
Pacific fighter I would love to face one day. Um, well, I just was talking about this on a different podcast. I was doing an interview, man. I would love to fight Kermel Morton. And as of recently, I was having some back and forth talk with Joseph Brown's dad. All respect to him though, man. He a good dude. I would love to fight his son as well though. Joseph Brown. The whole TMT squad, man, is full, man. So the whole TMT's team is full to me. I would love to fight all those guys. But um yeah, I definitely like to fight those guys. But if we talking legends wise, I would have loved to fight somebody like Floyd Mayweather. Um, who else? Definitely Floyd though. He just like the. I feel like he's my goat for sure. I feel like he's definitely the greatest of all time. So Floyd and the TMT, his whole squad, him and his whole squad gotta get it.
What do you think about Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao?
I think it's cool. I guess I don't know why, but I feel like Floyd did his thing. He don't gotta come out of retirement, even though it's an exhibition. I guess it's for fun. Um, it's cool. It's cool. I'll probably watch it. Maybe not. I mean, Manny did pretty good against Barrios, but they say Barrios is the worst champion and all this. But he did pretty decent. He got a draw. He might. Yeah, he might. Don't be surprised if he upsets Floyd. Man, he's actually been more active than Floyd. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, Barrios is a little slow though, like in the ring.
Yeah, Barrios is slow, man. But I agree with that statement when they say Barrios is like one of the worst champions. I don't think Barrios is that good, honestly.
Now, what is a skill that what is something like boxing wise you're good at and bad at skill wise?
Good at and bad at. Let me think. Good at. I'm good at a lot of things. Try to stay on my toes, keep my balance going. Feet work. I feel like is very important. I feel like that's defense and feet work. Good jab. So that's some things I try to stay consistent. Bad at. I don't know. And if I did know, I don't think I would say it up here. Gotta keep my flaws in secret. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But those are the things I try to keep good and tight.
Now, with this fight April 10th, are you trying to make a statement so people are like, wow, this guy's coming up the rankings and he's coming to take my spot?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We definitely try to make a big statement. We try to make a big statement. We try to show the fans that I'm giving the fans what they want to see, which is blood. The fans want to see blood. Big knockout victory is what we trying to make. We try to make the statement that I'm here. I'm here to stay, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a blast. I'm definitely trying to get the knockout for sure, for sure.
Now, how many rounds is this fight?
I'm pretty sure I'm doing a 4 rounder for my debut, but I don't want it to last 4 rounds. But I do, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a 4 rounder.
What round do you want him out of there?
First, like I'm usually a systematic breakdown type of guy. I take my time, jab him, touch his body, break him down slowly but surely. But about probably round two. If I see it earlier, we're gonna get him out earlier. But 2 or 3, I say. But if I see it first round, second round, or whenever, I'm definitely gonna go for it.
Well, tell me about your last amateur fight.
My last amateur fight was in the Nationals. I actually came up short my last amateur fight. That's why we were gonna do the Golden Gloves as well. It was in the December national championships. I came up short. I felt like I won the fight, but it is what it is. It was a 3-2 loss against a kid that I honestly beat twice that I should have been beaten again, but came up short. It is what it is, man.
Well, what is your amateur record?
Well, see on BoxRec it says 53-17, I think, but I actually have like about 100 fights, and I think they got some of those losses wrong. So I probably giving it a guess, I'm probably about 85-15. I say I probably got more than 100. I got around that number. I'm not exactly sure about the fights because once I passed like 20 fights, I honestly stopped counting, honestly. But I got about 5 books or so. So I would like to say about 100 and probably about 85-15 estimated.
Well, what is something you've been working on in training camp that you want to do in the fight against your opponent?
Definitely want to control him with the jab, keep my defense tight, break him down with body shots.
Now, if your opponent was watching, what is something he should look out for against you when he's fighting you?
What you should look out for? Hmm. He should look out for everything that's coming to him. He should look out for everything. He should just stay woke, stay aware. Um, it's always a shot that you least expect. You feel me? So stay woke, stay aware. You should watch out for everything though.
And how did you first get into boxing overall?
Well, I got into boxing. My pops love boxing, right? And because he loved boxing, he had my sister doing pads in the house and stuff. And when she was doing pads, I would come around and mock her, trying to punch too, do my little thing. And then I started hitting her butt, punching her butt, punching her butt, punching her butt. She was complaining, "Oh, Dad, my brother's punching me in the butt." And he's like, "Oh, boy, stop punching her in the butt." Then one day, my mom came. She's like, "Whoa, my son looks good. He's got it." You feel me? Boom. When he said that to my dad, she's kind of like, "Yo, take him to the gym." My dad, he was second guessing it, but my mom's like, "Yo, man, if you don't take my son to the gym, I'm gonna get somebody else to train your son, another man to train your son." And he ain't like that. He ain't like that. So he said, "You know what? I'm gonna take my son to the gym." And that's where it all started. Boom. That's how I got in the gym. I was about 5 years old, young. Had my first fight about 9 years old, and it was history from there. History.
Now, in your amateur career so far, what would you say was your best performance and your worst performance?
My best performance was definitely when I feel like this is just my opinion. Probably my dad would agree. I was about 12, bro, and I fought this kid, Sincere Nelson in New York. I just loved how I looked. I just felt like I looked amazing. I was on my bounce, let my hands go, looked just so sharp. My worst performance was, I would say, in the what was my worst performance? Probably in the National Silver Glove Championships. I was just tired. I wasn't in good shape in those, but it was the finals. I got to the finals, barely even in shape, barely had camp, but I got to the finals, and I feel like that was a really bad performance of mine. That whole tournament, I had a bad performances, but I was still coming out with the victory, you know. But yeah, those are probably my worst performances.
Now, do you have any sponsors as of right now?
Yes, shout out my sponsors. I want to shout out Ministry. I want to shout out Pixel 8. That's a big sponsor of mine. Shout those guys out. I want to shout out Legacy Boxing. I want to shout out Beast Lungs. Who else I got? I hope I'm not missing nobody. And shout out Samson Team Management. Those are my sponsors for my fight coming up. I appreciate all of you guys, and I thank all of you guys. I am gonna make a video shouting you guys out as well, and post you guys on my story. Definitely when I get the chunks. But yeah, shout out all of them.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. What's next, man? Thank you for having me on the podcast. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I would love to talk to you again after the victory. And yeah, man, have a great day, man. I was watching the fights. I was watching the Golden Boy fights. If you know, what's Kenneth Sims and Barboza fight today, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'll be watching that. And yeah, man, it's good talking to you.
it was great to have you on. And if you ever want to come on in the future after you get the win, then come right on.
All right, bet, bro. Have a good one, man.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, bro.
Bye.